Hey guys, my name is Moon and welcome back for more Umineko When They Cry, episode number 7. So last time we started, I guess, our journey into our culprit's memories, her story, and yeah, we finally have a name, Yasu. So thank you for that. And yeah, we got reminded again last time with what Kinzo did. It was sick. So let us continue here.
あんたちびぼうきどうしたの？
窓枠掃除用に使ってなかったっけ？
The small broom is a little thin broom that looks like a large paintbrush. We use it to clear out the dust in the small corners like window frames. It's one of the cleaning tools I was put in charge of.
しっかりしなさいよ。あんたに任せたでしょ？何やってんのよ、どんくさい。
ほら、急いで探しておいで。奥様に見つかる前に、急いで。
どうした？ヤスがちびぼうきまたどこかでなくしてきたのよ。こいつ、物をなくす天才？
だからヤスに物を持たすなといつも言っている。そいつはそそっかしいから、いつも物をなくす。
一生懸命やってるんだから、そんなこと言っちゃいけません。ほら、急いで探してらっしゃい。待ってるから。
Okay. Not wanting to hear my fellow servants complain even more, I spun around and headed off. If you lose a tool, you get in trouble. If no one knows who did it, we all get yelled at. So one of them will probably tell Madam that it was my fault. Still, it really is my fault that I lost it in the first place. I wonder when I lost it. When did I do it? We cleaned out the entire chapel today. The chapel is a large building behind the mansion. However, no one ever goes near it normally. Even so, we were ordered to clean it a few times each year. Kinzo calls it a sacred building, so Natsui is very strict about it. We'd clean every little nook and cranny from the top to the bottom. It had taken all day. I had been in charge of cleaning the window frames, but I had also been given many smaller tasks. Whilst those small jobs were keeping me busy, I completely forgot about the small broom. And I must have felt or left it lying around somewhere. I began to hate myself for it. This isn't the first time this has happened. It happens all the time. Every time I set something down, it always disappears. It goes somewhere else, it vanishes. I thought it was probably the witch Beatrice pranking me. The ghost of the witch gained power from Rokinjima's evil spirits and was reborn. Until Kumasawa-san told me, I never knew the meaning of the shrine on the rocks by the sea.
熊沢が語りしは、漁師たちの間に語り継がれし古き物語。かつて六軒島は悪食島と呼ばれ、人の魂を食らう恐ろしい悪霊が住んでいたと伝える物語。
ねえ、熊沢。僕たちにも聞かせてよ。
恐ろしい六軒島の悪霊の物語よ。
いいですとも。六軒島はかつては小豆島という名でした。でももっと大昔の呼び名は悪食島でした。島に近寄る船乗りを海の底に引きずり込んで魂を食らうと噂されておりまして。 そんな恐ろしい悪霊がこの島にいるんでございますよ。
それは熊沢の好む定番の怪談。新しい使用人がやってくるたびに聞かせるお約束の怪談。普段ならばくだらないと笑い捨てられるそれも、後宮家の屋敷以外に何も存在せず、嵐の夜には不気味なうなりを聞かせるこの寂しい六軒島では、誰もが神妙に耳を傾けるのだった。
あの海岸の社は悪霊を封じ込めるためだったのね。
親方様も薄気味悪いオカルト趣味をお持ちだし。
お屋敷も薄気味悪くて何かが潜んでそう。
そうですとも。旅の修験者がようやく抑え込むのが精一杯。かろうじて封じ込められてはいますが、今も夜な夜な犠牲者を求めて夜の屋敷を徘徊しているのですよ。うわ
親方様の書斎見た？
見たわ。まるで悪魔の実験室だわ。
親方様は悪魔の研究をしているって噂だよ。
死んだ愛人ベアトリーチェを蘇らせる研究だって言ってたわ。
その魔法の実験の生贄に子供たちを呼び寄せてるんじゃないかって。
親方様に一人で書斎に来いって言われたらどうしよう。
なんかね、昔書斎に行ったまま帰ってこない子がいたらしいよ。
きっと亡霊のベアトリーチェの新しい肉体にする実験の犠牲になったんだわ。
そうですとも。ベアトリーチェ様が肉体を求め、亡霊となってさまよっておられるのです。2階の貴賓室はベアトリーチェ様の住処。お部屋を掃除するときはくれぐれも礼を失することはあってはなりませんよ。
I honestly wonder though, what if Kumasawa didn't tell her about like the stories about Beatrice? What would have happened, right? Like this is I guess a big catalyst here for the character, right? Her learning about Beatrice and it pretty much became what do you call this? The thing that happened here, or less later.
さもないと。
It's kind of scary. You laughed there. But yeah, I
思
mean,
春期の想像力たくましき少年少女たちにとって怪談は恐ろしいながらも魅力的なおとぎ話であった。
but I mean, in the future, that Beatrice, the Golden Witch, was used for, the name itself was used for the bad things that happened. Like if Kumasawa didn't tell her about that, maybe things would have been different. Maybe.
一つの物語を共有し共感することで連帯感が生まれる。すると共感は義務となり。
So actually, now I'm seeing a lot of faults, I guess. A lot of faults with, we can say, like different characters.
それを受け入れることが共同体に加わる通過儀礼のようになる。ずっと昔からそれは繰り返され受け継がれてきたのだ。
ええ。私も六軒島でお勤めをするようになってすぐにその話を熊沢さんや先輩方に聞かされました。
僕も聞かされたよ。主に姉さんにね。 私も聞かされましたとも。
Okay, so we got Kanon and Goda now.
主に熊沢さんでした。
臆病そうなシャノンはともかく、男の子のカノンや大の大人のゴーダまで怪談を信じたの？
僕は別に信じてたわけでは。
怪談やジンクスなどはどこの職場にもあるものです。私がかつて勤めておりましたホテルにもいくつもそういう話がありましたとも。
つまりバカバカしい話だと思って気にしなかった？
空気を読むってとこはあったかもしれない。
ですね。怪談もジンクスもその職場のローカルルールです。それに新参者が背けば打ち解けることはできませんからね。
そういうこと。魔女なんているものか、バカバカしいなんて言うと姉さんと喧嘩になるからね。上辺だけでも合わせた方が楽だったし。
もうそんな気持ちじゃ罰が当たるよ。大怪我をした人もいたらしいんだから。
そんな感じでどこの職場でもそういう話はあるものです。職場の怪談と会社創業者のとんでも武勇伝はどんなに突拍子がなくても受け入れて信じる。それが新しい職場に溶け込むということですとも。
みんな大人だね。
Okay, we're with Yasa now. Yeah, I don't know. We're with Will, I guess. I don't know, we're with Yasa. Okay, so I went to each window around the chapel in the order I had cleaned them, searching carefully in all the places I might have left it. And I was like, yeah, I want to see more of Yasu, but yeah, Goda kept talking, and then Shannon, and then Canon. I had been cleaning the windows with it, so it had probably been set down near one of those. When did I leave it behind, I wonder? Now that I think about it, I don't think I had it anymore when I reached the last window. So I must have completely forgotten to clean that window frame. Through the window, I could see the others leaving one after another. Shannon turned around and glanced up, looking worried. I don't want to be responsible for making everyone wait, so I'm actually glad they're leaving without me. If I said I wanted them to wait for me, I'd be relying on them too much. The sun's beginning to set and the chapel's getting darker and darker. I don't want to hang around in a place like this all by myself. I'd better find the small broom fast. No, that's not all. I also need to clean the window frames I forgot. Madam is strict. She'll probably check all of the windows carefully. If she does, I'll be the one who gets in trouble tomorrow. But really, where did I lose it? Why did I lose it? The darkness grew and grew. When it became dark enough that I would need a light before long, I began to panic. So I dashed around and around the chapel, tears streaming down my face. As I stumbled about pathetically, I could feel the presence of a prankster witch giggling at me from the crack of the door and the gaps in the ceiling. The ghost of Beatrice, the master's mistress, wanders about in search of a body to this very day. So as she absorbs the power of Rokinjima's evil spirits, her strength steadily grows and she waits for the day of her resurrection. And for some reason, she's peeking out at me. And if I ever take my eyes off something for a second, she snatches it away and hides it. This isn't the first time this had happened. Whenever I look away, keys, handkerchiefs, pencils, erasers, all of them vanish almost right away. Even though I was planning to use them later or just wanted to put them in their proper place, they disappear as soon as I turn around. It isn't someone hiding them as a prank. It's happened many times when I am the only person around. Everyone always says I'm too careless and forgetful, and they laugh at me, get mad at me. I do try to be alert. But like some kind of bad joke, I lose things easily when I forget about them for just a short while. So sometimes I think this eraser is gonna disappear sooner or later and I just stare at it. But at those times alone, it doesn't disappear. Nothing disappears when I'm alert. But as soon as I think I'm safe and the tension relaxes just a bit, then something else will disappear. Why is it always me? Yeah, I hear you. I can tell the witch is laughing at me as I lamely run around in circles. Is this someone new? I mean, the voice is kind of different though. Yeah, I think I haven't heard this voice. Listening to that voice's laugh, I finally slammed my hands against the wall, crying tears of frustration. What is the name of this chapter again? The First Friend. Wait, wasn't Shannon your first friend? Please, just stop it. Why do you always hide my things and get me in trouble? And the witch answered.
愚かな。決まっておろうが。そなたがそうして困ってうろたえている姿が面白いから以外に、どんな理由があろうか。
I couldn't bear it. Even though I knew what she said was true, hearing it said directly was incredibly annoying. I understand. That small broom probably is somewhere in this chapel. No, that's not quite right. I'm sure that that moment before I reached this window, it was there on the window sill. That's right, I'm sure I put it by this window. But the prankster witch Beatrice used her magic. And just before I reached this spot, she instantly teleported the small broom to the next window over. The instant I approached the window, a hole appeared beneath the small broom, swallowing it up. And it came out by the next window after that. It landed right inside it as though it had been there the whole time. And this happened over and over again. As I ran up to the window, the small broom fell into a magic hole and went to the next window. And when I went to that window, it went to the next window. And I realized that she was just making fun of me. Okay. So no matter how much I search, it would be useless. But if I stop searching, it'll just be sitting there by one window or another. So this isn't a search. It's a test of endurance. I kept chasing after a small broom, and Beatrice kept making it escape to the next window over, trying to make me give up. So this is an eternal chase that'll end only when one of us gives up. So I kept going around and around, even to windows that I knew I'd already searched. If it's not by this one, then try the next one and the next one. And the witch kept moving the small broom to the next window and the next. Just give it a rest. How long are you gonna make fun of me? This isn't the only time. You always do this. The shrill, voiceless laugh of the formless witch continued to mock my sobbing. The witch is right beside me, laughing at me. As I dash around the chapel, she's following along with me, taunting me. Then she must be there. She's right behind me, just over my shoulder, still cackling away. I know that turning around won't help since she has no form, so I can try to look, but I mustn't look with my eyes. Once my eyes tell me there's nothing there, I won't be able to see anymore. I learned that from the director of the Fukuin house. Okay. You mustn't try to see with your eyes. You must see with the eyes of your heart. The whole world is filled with God's love. In many of the blessings of everyday life, one can see God's angels and the Holy Ghost. If you try to look with your eyes, you won't see them, so you won't be able to see them. So you won't be able to feel them or understand them. With the eyes of the heart, you will quietly understand. You don't look at their image. You see and draw them with your heart. In this way, I learned how to recognize beings not of this world at the Fukuin house. It doesn't just mean being able to see God. The power lets one see all of those not of this world. Please, stop it now. Stop this prank.
ほう。わらわに話しかけることができるというのか。
I am clumsy, bad at my job, and I do put things down and forget about them a lot. But I know which things were my fault and which things were because of your pranks.
これはこれは。姿なきわらわを知覚するだけでなく、わらわのささやかな遊びまでも理解するとは。思ったより、お前は面白い存在ではないか？ヤス？
I am usually called Yasu when one of the older servants is laughing behind my back at some mistake I've made. So when I hear that name, it feels bad. She called me not by the blessed name given to me by the Fukuin house, but by that unblessed name. Upsetting the heart is a classic move that evil beings make. They do it to make it harder for people to notice their presence. To beings like witches, being understood is like shoving them out into the light of day. It won't work. In the Fukuin house, I learned how to perceive those not of this world. So I am already able to understand you.
面白いやつだ。吹けば飛ぶような儚い存在であったわらわを捕らえて離さぬとはな。気に入ったぞ、ヤス。
It won't work. I've now understood and perceived you. No matter how many unpleasant things you say, you'll just expose the ugliness of your heart. Without turning around, I slowly let my range of vision fill the entire chapel. It was as though the viewpoint of my soul was floating out from the shell of my head. See? Inch by inch, my range of vision is floating out of my head and drifting upwards. As I look down at myself, standing there with head hanging and eyes slightly shut, my mind's eye very slowly rose up to the ceiling of the chapel. And when I looked down from there, I saw myself standing in the center of the chapel and the witch standing behind me. Apparently the witch realized that I could see her. Please go up. She turned around and raised her eyes to look at the eyes of my heart floating by the ceiling. At last, I could see the witch Beatrice with the eyes of my heart.
人間の分際で
So
我
I,
が姿を捉えたか。
so I guess when she, let's say she made Beatrice, this was, I guess, the first form? I mean, I guess when she was a kid, there was no, I don't know, maybe, is there a portrait back then of the Ecuadorian Beatrice back then? I don't remember. But if there's nothing, so I guess that's why Beatrice's form right now is the form of Gaap, right? At least the first one. And then I guess when she knew of the form of Beatrice from the portrait, it changed and this one became Gaap instead. I mean, you could say that, right? The demonic lips twisted in an ugly curve. It was clearly challenging, repulsive, a demon smile. She wore a blood-red dress and a hat. The design was completely different from anything humans wore. I mean, true. Her hair was blonde. It had countless beautiful curls like a princess from a picture book. But there was no trace of cuteness about her.
そなたは他の人間たちとは少し違うように思っていたが、どうやらそれはわらわの間違いだったようだ。そなたは少しどころか、他の人間たちとはまるで違うらしい。
You sad witch who can be seen by no one, heard by no one. Have you been pulling these pranks all the time just to catch the attention of humans? Honestly, like, as soon as Gaap showed up, and not technically as soon, but yeah, because technically what Beatrice or this one is doing is, yeah, playing pranks. Remember, was it episode 6? When, I guess, yeah, the culprit Yasu was talking to Shannon. Was it talking to Shannon or what? But she did mention tricks. Yeah, she did mention that. I forgot how was it actually worded back then, but yeah, it was said there that pulling tricks or something like that. So I guess now this original Beatrice was used, I guess, by Yasu to pull tricks on people. Maybe that's it.
わらわの貧弱なる魔力を尽くし、人間どもの隙に介入するが、何をしても奴らは魔法とは思わぬ。
Because yeah, she had no friends, right? So she would do mischief, I guess. Who knows?
ほんのちょっとした勘違いと決めつけ、わらわの存在をケーキのろうそくでも吹き消すかのように簡単に消し去ってしまう。
If so, then I just saved you. Because I understand you and have perceived you.
救うだわらわにとってそなたとの出会いなど、新しい暇つぶし以上でも以下でもないわ。
It's getting dark. I don't have time to play with you anymore.
おやおや、これはすまぬ。夢中で遊んでいると暗くなるのに気づかぬものだ。
Please give it back. My cleaning tool.
ちびぼうきとやらかあるぞ、その隣の窓辺に。
But as soon as I get close, you'll move it to the next window over.
わ 我が姿が神出鬼没であるように、我が魔法は神出鬼没。指を一つ鳴らすだけで、このように自由自在よ。
The witch snapped her fingers and various things throughout the chapel were sucked into a black pitfall beneath them, disappearing. No, they didn't disappear. The instant they vanished into the dark holes, other dark holes appeared in complete different parts of the chapel, and the vanished objects fell out of those. Chairs, musical scores, clocks, and vases started appearing and disappearing all across the room. It made it feel as though countless stools were flying about the chapel.
やれはするが、やりはせぬ。さすがにこれでは、いたずらの域を超えるのでな。
I wonder what the difference between a prank and a magic is to a witch. When she snapped her fingers, again all of the loud flying objects returned to their original spots. And silence fell.
そなたを、わらわは気に入ったぞ。わらわを捕らえた、とな。それは同じであるわ。わらわがそなたを捕らえたのと同じことであるぞ。
Though it's speaking as well, Warawa, Warawa. The Fukuin director told me not to try and see evil beings. If you see them, they will possess you. Now that I understood this witch, a bond had been formed between us.
その通り。そなたがわらわを認めたおかげで、わらわはそなたとの縁を得た。日々に退屈していたわらわにとって、そなたごとき幼子であっても、話し相手が生まれるのは良いことだ。
I'll talk to you from time to time. So, will you stop pulling pranks like this?
いや、話し相手ではない。遊び相手であるわ。遊びならば、いたずらはつきものであろう。まあよい。今日はこれで十分楽しんだ。日が陰り、月が満ちてきた。わらわもそなたの前にいつまでも姿を現すのは疲れる。今日はこれにてお開きとしようではないか。ほうき一本でそなたとたっぷり遊べた。
Please give it back.
嫌だ。これはそなたとの出会いの記念にわらわが頂戴するぞ。文句はないな。
If I said I did, would you give it back to me?
わらわは人間の言うことなど聞きはせぬ。しかし友人の言うことには耳を傾けぬでもない。
If you give it back, I'll acknowledge you as a friend.
愚かなる人間め。わらわに取引を持ちかけたくば、神秘の魔法陣の一つも描いてみせよ。と言いたいところだが、そなたの申し出は考える余地があるだろう。
What do you mean you might?
そなたを我が友人として迎えてよいものか。預からせてもらおうぞ。何しろ魔女は天の弱。答えを求められたら即答を拒むのが魔女というものよ。
Understood. Then I'll leave the small broom with you. Please give it back when you decide to become my friend.
うん。このほうき。 そなたとの友情の架け橋となるや否か。しばらく預からせてもらい、それを迷う越を楽しませてもらおうぞ。
When the witch snapped her fingers, the broom for which I had searched so long fell out of a hole in the air. Between the fingers she had just snapped,
それではさらばだ。そなたとの遊戯、退屈はしなかったぞ。ぜひまた遊ぼうぞ。
if you're my friend, that is.
猫はネズミをいたぶるとき、友情を育んでからいたぶるというのか
Okay. The witch faded away. As she did, the eyes of my heart shut themselves. When I returned to my body, I felt suddenly tired and let out a breath I'd been holding. Of course, when I turned around, there was no one to be seen. I couldn't feel the witch's presence anymore or anywhere. It had gotten very dark by this time. I decided to leave the chapel. There is no point in searching for a small broom any longer. Not until the witch decides to give it back. I went out of the chapel. The chapel key had been left in the lock. I used it to lock the door. What am I gonna do to do about the small broom? There is nothing I can do. I can't even blame the witch. I must acknowledge that I'm responsible for giving the witch a chance. But you know what? Like, I think I see it now. Like, this, at least, persona, at least for now, for Beatrice, let's say the first purpose for this character, for Yasu, was to blame someone. If for example, yeah, she did a prank, right? Like, in this case, it was a broom, a small broom. What if she played a prank in, let's say, the other servants? Then she can blame it on the witch, blame it on Beatrice. I guess it is the first purpose for that character. I think that's why it's being shown like this here. Yep. When I happened to glance downwards, I saw a small broom lying there by my feet. It was the broom I had been searching for all this time. So don't tell me that it'll be swallowed up by a dark hole the instant I bend over to pick it up. No, this is a sign from the witch, a sign that she acknowledged me as a friend. I picked it up. Oh, I am one yet many again.
この島に来て初めてできた友人はどうやら人間ではないようだった。しかし思い返せばそれは当然。魔女の島でできる友人がどうして魔女でなかろうか。これが我とベアトリーチェの初めての出会いである。しかしながら勘のいい諸見はお気づきのように、これは本当のベアトリーチェとの出会いではない。
Yep. Not the real Beatrice, yet at least.
我がベアトリーチェと呼ぶその魔女は、後に他の名で呼ばれることとなる。
The witch I then called Beatrice would later be known by another name.
しかし、人ならざるものであることに違いはない。そして、人ならざるものに縁を持つことは、人ならざる世界への縁を持つことともなる。我は未だ、これより六軒島で数奇なる運命をたどることになるとは、知る由もなかったのである。
But yeah, I guess that scene right there. First friend. First meeting with Beatrice. And okay, let's see this first.
ほんと。
Okay, so yeah, the purpose, as I said, is basically, I think, for Yasu to maybe like blame someone, because yeah, look at this. She uses this wonderful power only for pranks, right? Her favorite trick is hiding keys and bags on busy mornings. See? So that is the purpose of, let's say, Gaap or Beatrice in the beginning when Yasu was still a kid. Is I guess she would play tricks on probably just the other servants, right? Yeah, probably that. Because yeah, she's a kid and she didn't have any friends. The people from the Fukuin house didn't want to do anything with her. So she would play tricks on them and she would just blame, for example, yeah, the key is missing. She would just, if someone asked, and then maybe she would just blame it on Beatrice. And that's it. That was the purpose for Beatrice in the beginning for Yasu. And I guess it was okay. Yeah, but I think I was too long though. Yeah, too long of an introduction for Beatrice here. Yeah, it was like kind of dragging a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. But I guess it was fine. So let's see what happens next time around. What kind of story are we gonna get? We'll see. So we are gonna continue this and do more of Umineko When They Cry, episode 7 in the next one. So I'll just see you then, guys. Bye bye.